wellbeing really is a golden thread that runs through everything in the school. It's a culture that you can feel. It's quite difficult to put your finger on why it's so special here, but it is. Everywhere you go, when you talk to staff, when you talk to children, when you walk around the classrooms, you can feel that throughout the school.
In this film, we've looked at the components of wellbeing that are critical for a whole school approach to wellbeing. But I suppose we can't move away from the centrality of the importance of relationships, which comes into all of the components that we looked at today. How if we want to get a whole school approach to wellbeing right, we need to begin by thinking about the relational values that we hold as a school community and how we can develop and enact those.
I feel that this is stable, it's consistent, and our motto at this school, be kind, be your best, and we very much take that on board, and it runs and is embedded throughout the school, because you know as an adult, if somebody smiles at you, just giving you that recognition that actually you are valued, you are worth somebody's expression of recognition is really important and can make a difference.
The whole school approach to emotional wellbeing is such an exciting project because it's actually been born out of the experiences of people within school communities. So the components of wellbeing that we've identified as being important to school contexts, love, agency, efficacy, belonging and safety, are themes that we drew from listening to the stories of children and young people within schools, of teachers, of education staff and parents and carers. We know that there's a really good evidence base for why these things matter, but what we've not done before is hear from these school communities in this breadth that actually it's the little moments that are making the big differences. It's the little moment where someone notices you, where someone makes you feel valued, where someone really hears what you're telling them and holds it in mind for you, where you feel you're able to grow into your best possible self. But equally, where when you're struggling, you know that you'll be held, you know that there are adults around you, whether that's a colleague or a teacher or a member of education staff, who is going to respond to that emotional need, who can hold you in that communication and think about routes for you moving forward. It's not just about creating contexts where everything is okay all of the time. It's about creating contexts where it's okay to not be okay.
This school is just incredible. The ethos and the values that we have are embedded throughout the whole school. There's a real love and supportive environment. The children absolutely love it, so do the parents, and all staff are in it together, and it's just brilliant. You can't ask for a better school. I've only been here 2.5 years and I feel like I've been here a lifetime. I can't imagine ever leaving this school for the staff and for the pupils.
Just as wellbeing is for everyone, it's crucial that for a whole school approach to work, everybody is on board. So historically in schools we're used to maybe having allocated members of staff who may work on wellbeing and that might be their role. We may have adults in school that young people go to when there are concerns around their wellbeing or their mental health needs. A whole school approach does this differently. So whilst it's really important that we still have allocated members of staff who are going to be able to lead on these and drive some of these ideas and changes through, we also need an approach that uses everybody's voice. We've heard about the importance of agency today, and something that uses everybody's voice, makes sure that everybody in the community is listened to and that everybody is involved in the creation of your whole school approach to wellbeing, in thinking about those components and what they look like in this school and how we could develop those components to make a kind of more coherent whole school approach to wellbeing here.
I feel like when I was in this school from year 7 to year 10, I could come in the morning and there'd normally be a pastoral on the gate welcoming everybody, and I could have an argument with my mum in the morning and they'd go, all right Rebecca, like how was your morning? And that just made me feel like, yeah, like I'm not just walking into a dark and gloomy place, someone's actually taking their time to talk to me.
Working at a whole school level is particularly advantageous in terms of we're looking at the sort of the smaller subtle changes that we can make within a whole school environment that don't require massive changes to the overall sort of systems which currently exist within schools. We're looking at what works well within the schools that we'll be working with, and looking to try and encourage those things and trying to develop some of the things which schools already do very, very well. So for instance, we're talking about the themes of belonging, agency, efficacy, love and safety. Those are all things that schools can provide, but it's about us being able to kind of support schools in recognising the value of those things and being able to perhaps enhance some of those things which they're already doing and recognising their contributions to a whole school approach to emotional well-being.
And they've just worked with me all the way. There's been a friendly, inviting, chatty atmosphere around the school, and as it's progressed on through the years it's got even better. They've just put us completely at ease, and they've made us realise how wonderful our daughter's life can be going on, and that there's, you know, it is this bittersweet thing about going up to high school, and is it all going to stop? You know, it'll definitely change, because life changes anyway. But right now, at this moment in time, I couldn't be happier. They've reacted and even been ahead of me on some things that I hadn't even thought about, and the ideas that have flowed in order to bring her on and socialise her and make her happy, and she comes home from school most days really, really happy and can't wait to get to school the next day.
Another thing about the whole school approach, and particularly this idea of feeling supported, is this really powerful idea about being held in mind. So being supported is not necessarily about having people next to you, being close. It can be about just being held in mind and knowing that there are people there thinking about you. People who may not be present, but know that when you go off to your classroom or when you go off to your day in work in school and you're about to have a difficult day, knowing that other people, perhaps in your team or in your peer group, are holding you in mind and thinking about you, can make a profound difference to your experience of challenge or of your day.
I told my catering teacher, Miss Button, that I wasn't very happy in her lessons and that I was very down and that I had to go see the mental health team. She encouraged me every day to come into school and made me feel really good about myself and boosted my confidence up every day. And just seeing Miss Button with a smile on her face herself was really positive for me. Just seeing everyone with a smile on their face is really positive, and it's just really nice. So my catering teacher, Miss Button, made me feel really good.